This is your last chance. You have around 500 days to make as much money in crypto as possible because there's not really going to be another bull market like this. When the next bull market rolls around, everything's going to be so crazy manipulated by big institutional money that you're not going to want to be in this space at all. The cryptos that you want to buy on a daily basis are going to be almost impossible to buy because of the amount of regulation that's going to come in, making it not such a fun and exciting place to be anymore. Therefore, this is your time. What you do right now, the decisions you make and the information that you're able to learn is going to be able to change your life potentially in the next few years, but it's down to you to make the right decisions. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly how I'm playing things right now, the coins that I'm buying, the research that I'm doing, and the tools that I'm using to be able to accumulate as much money as I can in this bull market. I'm also going to explain why the crazy manipulation that's going to come in is going to completely delete the opportunity to make the gains that people are talking about in the likes of Bitcoin. So guys, hit that like button and let's get into today's video. Now guys, first of all, let's take a look at this. This is a diamond. Why on earth am I showing you diamonds? Because I'm a diamond hand legend? No, because there's no such thing as a diamond hand legend. Just a diamond hand loser who gets stuck in the markets forever and then just gets wrecked at the end of it. So if it's not Diamond Hand Legend, what is it? Well, a diamond is very expensive. Why is a diamond so expensive? Well, you would tell me because of supply and demand. And you'd probably be partly right. Diamonds are quite rare. They're quite difficult to find. They're difficult to mine, as far as I'm aware. They're then very difficult to work with because they need to be cut and it's all very expensive and difficult processes. But diamonds are not strictly held by supply and demand, because the supply is regulated. The supply is controlled by a few companies around the world that basically have a monopoly on the diamond markets. And this means that the prices of diamonds are significantly higher than they actually should be, given the amount that are available, etc. So why on earth am I telling you about diamonds? Well, I just read a really interesting article over in Cointelegraph. Spot ETF could result in millions of unbacked Bitcoin. And you're like, well, what does that mean? I don't want to read the article. Tell me. Okay, right, relax. What it means is this. Right now, if you go to an exchange and you buy Bitcoin, you're taking Bitcoin out of the supply. Okay, because you're removing supply. You're also showing that there's an element of demand. People are putting money in, they're buying Bitcoin. It affects the supply and demand model. The price goes up or down depending on that particular day. But what happens when you have an ETF is the company that runs the ETF will buy a bunch of Bitcoin and then have a bunch of paper that represents the Bitcoin, i.e., I own, let's say, 100 Bitcoin. You come to me and you say, want to buy 1 Bitcoin. I say, yeah, okay, here you are. But what can I actually do that is a bit sneaky is this. I can tell you that I've actually bought this many Bitcoin, but actually I can start to sell more Bitcoin than I've actually got because you don't even know whether I've got it or not. I could effectively buy 100 Bitcoin and sell 1,000 Bitcoin to other investors. Now, do you see the problem with this? Because if I do that, yes, it's very crooked and shady, but people have done this sort of shit all the time in terms of big money moves. What I'm effectively doing is increasing the supply without the supply actually increasing, which means that all these people like Michael Saylor and everything could potentially be absolutely wrong because while there's lots of people who want to buy Bitcoin, if everyone starts to buy it through ETFs and things like that, then it's going to be a complete disaster. So actually, yes, in the short term, this ETF pumps the price of Bitcoin and everything, but in the future, the manipulation is so dark and ominous that you don't want to be involved in it anyway. And then you just get the same thing as what's happening with money right now. This is the gold standard. The gold standard used to be that you had a currency, whether that be pounds or lira or yen or marks and dollars or whatever, that was linked to a certain portion of gold. So previously, £2.80 in British money was $1 and $35 equated to 1 ounce of gold, which meant that the price of gold, when it fluctuated on supply and demand models, would control the price of money. And if you look on this, this is when that gold standard got dropped. And then ever since then, the price of gold went crazy. It didn't really go crazy. The price of the dollar just went down. So the amount of things that you could buy with gold during this period of time would have been much the same if you had your 1 ounce of gold, etc. So this effectively tells you that yes, the price of Bitcoin can go up, but actually Bitcoin going through the ETF could effectively just get turned into the same concept as fiat money, in my opinion. Obviously, that's going to upset a lot of people. It's just a potential theory anyway. But what do we know? Right now, we know that the Bitcoin price is $43,000, which is kind of low compared to where it's been in the past and where one would anticipate it to go in the future. If this Bitcoin ETF gets approved at the start of January, whether it does, whether it doesn't, is going to have a very positive impact on the price. If it's approved. If not approved, we know that it's probably going to get approved slightly later in the year. So when we see the positive information, we would likely see the price absolutely boom towards the upside because it's unlikely to be priced in just yet. What I mean by that is when we have a piece of news that's anticipated and it's priced into the market already, that would tell us that the price is heavily increased. So for example, if we know that interest rates are going to go down and then they announce that interest rates go down, the Bitcoin price would already be higher given the information that's likely to come out. But this ETF is not guaranteed. Therefore, if it's approved, suddenly we get a very big push in the price. And lots of people are sort of waiting, saying, but what if it's not approved? What if it isn't approved? If it's not approved, who knows? Whether we get this black swan event that happened back in the last bull market where suddenly everyone gets shaken out. There's a problem with waiting for that information to happen. And that is this. It might never happen. In the last bull market, you can see that after we broke above this trend line, which is very similar to the one we've just broken above here, we then went up for 5 or 6 months straight in a row where you saw Bitcoin gaining around 300, 400%. If Bitcoin does that, it goes to around 120K, which is probably a reasonable price estimation that could potentially happen over the next few months. Who even knows? If that happens, the altcoins will start to explode in growth as well. They don't do it straight away because the money obviously flows to Bitcoin. It then flows into the large cap altcoins. Now, what am I doing that's different from what everyone else is doing right now? Well, I've set myself a price target in mind that I want my crypto to go to from this point forward, which has been easier because I made like 10x this year in Solana and I made a bunch of money in Optimism and a few other different cryptos. So it means that I'm comfortable right now with saying to myself that I want to make a 10x on the money in my portfolio right now in the next year. And this means one thing. I can easily go and find 10x cryptos without having to be that crazy ambitious and silly. Easy ride. Because I know that there's a bunch of different cryptos that are going to see a 10x pretty comfortably, in my own opinion. ICP, very solid bet we've been talking about earlier on this year. If we look on the monthly, horrible looking chart after that kind of stuff. But look, in the next few months, I anticipate if that Bitcoin ETF is approved, we go and we double pretty much the money there. Okay, so that's pretty much my first double. And then from there, only like a 5x. But I'm obviously not going to go all in on ICP because that would be reckless. Near Protocol has some really big and exciting things brewing. To see it reach to around sort of $20, which is a 5x on the current price, really not that difficult. Matic doing well, Arbitrum looking good, and will continue to grow from strength to strength as these layer 2s start to build off the back of the Ethereum success. I made a video yesterday on Metis and why that was worth focusing on because of what we're seeing in the Ethereum price right now and the layer 2 starting to boom. But time and time again in my free Telegram group, which is linked down below, I see people say things like this. I just lost 80% of my money in Analos. I'm down 40% in Cock. I'm down like 30% in this other shitcoin that I've never even heard of. This is the biggest error I am seeing right now in crypto. If you are putting too much pressure to try and make yourself a 10x, 100x in the next few weeks, you're going to end up wrecked because you're trying to chase it too fast. If I told you could be life-changingly more wealthy in the next 500 days, you'd probably take it. But no, everyone's so short-term mindset that they're diving into crap mini market coins being like, oh yeah, well this could do 100x because this one over here did 100x. There are a bunch of coins out there and a bunch of you have made loads of money in some coins like Bonk and Cock and whatever else, and good for you. But if you're trying to go down these routes, these small altcoins all the time, you know, you're very, very lucky if you manage to make money on any of them. Okay, because most of them that you buy will probably lose you more money than you'll ever make. But the thing we know is when this Bitcoin ETF gets approved, which is going to happen, Bitcoin and the large cap altcoins, all the ones that have been doing reasonably well recently, you know, Solana will continue to grow. It's at like $110 right now. I think it's going to go to $900 in this bull market. Casper's had a healthy pullback, will likely continue to the upside after a bit more kind of pullback. into the future. Will it do 100x? Probably not, but you're going to see 10, 20x easy enough out of some of these coins. Chainlink's had a good run and will continue to push higher. As you can see right now, it's trying to break beyond this $17 level. In the past, it was significantly higher than this. I anticipate it doing 5 to 10x. Now, guess what? I'm not just here for the 5 to 10x's. I tricked you a bit, okay? But know this. You should be trying to make your 5 or 10x now rather than trying to make your 100 to 1000x now. Because what happens is this. The bull market will come into big caps and Bitcoin and everything else first. And while, yeah, there's a few little meme coins and stuff that do really well later down the line, right now, you need to accumulate a bigger bag. I'm very comfortable playing in some of these cryptos right now because over the last year, I've been making like 3x, 4x, maybe even an 8x here and there on a few different coins. And that's over a year. I'm happy with that because now I've got significantly more cash in that pile to be able to invest into some slightly riskier assets like pre-ICOs and things like that, where I can consistently put in an amount each month into a pre-ICO, and maybe if one of those does 100x, then I make massive money, okay? Because there's a much better chance of those doing 100x than some crap meme coin that you found on Twitter last week. Now, there's a great book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, I digress, but stick with me. It's a really old school book, okay? But it's basically a rich man offering advice to a poor man, and the poor man keeps making stupid mistakes like investing in high risk assets, when actually the rich man just tells him to invest in kind of like sensible things, and over a period of time, he grows his wealth massively because he slow and steady wins the race. Every investor out there who's chasing these massive gains right now will get wrecked, for sure. I almost guarantee it. If you have to invest into new crypto projects that you think have good opportunity, then that's fine, okay? But understand a few things. They need to have a very interesting, useful use case. They also have to have something that's going to make money in the future. Therefore, exchanges, for example, have always been something that made loads of money. I bought you DEX Toro the other day because it had a tiny market cap and it ticked all those boxes. Now, it ticked all those boxes because it's a decentralized exchange that's slightly cheaper than Synthetics. Synthetics has a daily trading volume of like $36 million, which is literally nothing in terms of exchange volume on trading, and a market cap of $1 billion. If DEX Toro hits $1 billion market cap, which is reasonable in these current conditions, then I hit like 100x from kind of where I am right now, and I'm already like 580% up since I covered it on the channel just a few weeks ago. So if you're not subscribed and you're missing out on coins like this, then make sure you're subscribed. But guys, the point of this is, it's really not that difficult. You haven't got to go out and be too elaborate. Right now, the markets are very straightforward to read and understand what's going on. Crypto is gaining more people into the space. Institutions are starting to come into the space. Do we get a pullback tomorrow or the next day? I don't know. Does anyone know? No. If you try and control it too much, you're going to miss out completely if you're waiting for pullbacks that significant to happen. Solana recently had a nice pullback from $125. It's now down 17%. Is it a good buy? Well, it might be. Is it a good buy for next week? It might be. I don't know. Am I going to double my money? I don't know. Am I going to lose half? I don't know. But is Solana going to be worth significantly more over the next 500 days than it is at $105? If the answer to that is yes, then as far as I'm concerned, from my own point of view, then I would be investing based on a longer term trajectory. Because I know if like World War III breaks out or whatever else happens, that Solana's probably going to survive it, as are all the other big market cap coins. But will Bonk coin and Cock and whatever survive an absolute market meltdown? Potentially, but I'm going to lose about 95% of my money in that. And I know it's confusing, and on a day-to-day basis, there's so much noise in the market, which is why we created the Crypto VIP League. In this league, each week, you're getting like 1 or 2 coin calls only. But these are coins such as DEX Toro, where we're already up like 400, 500% for people who got in very early in that. And there's not just endless amounts of noise all the time. It's a group of serious big ticket investors who are all working together to be able to find the next gems in the market. We're also tipping each other off about best times to buy and sell within the markets. And each week, I've been doing live calls with people going over their portfolios, breaking down their portfolios, and as well taking them through various key tools such as Nansen and other important tools out there. If you come across to this landing page, you'll get more information on what is really on offer. There's an explainer video here with Peter Voogd, who I've partnered up with on this, who made over 7 figures during the last crypto bull market. And as well as that, he will also be doing live calls in the crypto group. So if you want more support and to join into a pure alpha group, then guys, link down below in the description for the crypto VIP league. Currently it is $97 a month, but it will be increasing to $147 in just the next few days. So if you want to get involved, act fast. There'll be a live call today, this afternoon, so don't miss out on that. Now guys, if you're struggling right now because you haven't got enough funds or something like that, then I recommend you come across and check out meld.com, link down below in the description, where you can get in with a chance of winning some of $1 million worth of Meld tokens in an upcoming airdrop. Now I recommend going and getting yourself a Meld card, which you can go and apply for in the link. Now, Meld is a non-custodial DeFi protocol. Basically, it's a Web3 wallet. You can hold your card, you can change between your currencies. There's around 16 different currencies where you can pay around the world at various different cash machines and shops and whatever, and just transfer between your crypto all the time, which means that you don't have to keep your money locked out of crypto during this bull market. You can keep moving between. Now, Meld has an extremely transparent team, is regulated in Europe, and you can see all the information on them here. They've got a really ambitious roadmap coming up, so definitely go and check out more to do with Meld Finance because they're offering a really cool service, and you can register for a card and stuff for free, so it's a bit of a no-brainer in my opinion that you come and check out Meld. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Also, stop buying crappy meme coins, okay? Start focusing on the big projects that are going to be turning you a 5 or 10x in the next year or so, because that's where you're going to be able to grow your wealth in crypto. Absolute no-brainer. Hit the like button, subscribe. See you later. Bye-bye.